Welcome back, everybody. It's one more match to go here at the Overwatch League today, and it's going to be a fun one. It's going to be the Chengdu Hunters, always a fan favorite, great, exciting team to watch, versus the Philadelphia Fusion. And this one is especially interesting because Philadelphia Fusion came off a pretty tough loss yesterday. Their first tiebreaker map 5 loss at the end of the day. Can you tell? And so the question is, do they have the mental fortitude to carry through and get a win today?
Yeah, and we saw Philadelphia come through. They dominated on that first control map, but Guangzhou Charge eventually got the better of them. And now Philadelphia, they can't afford to lose a lot of these matches at the end of the season. They're also on the cusp of, potentially getting knocked out of these play-ins or at least taking a very low seed. We expected this to be the meta that they looked better in alongside London, their other finalists from last year.
They didn't look bad yesterday.
They looked a little bit sloppy. Like on this map, Junkertown, the pirate ship really worked out for them, but by the end of the series, they had kind of gotten figured out. They were emphasizing a lot of the Reaper play that we've seen over the last couple of days, but their retakes with Reaper were a little shaky.
Yeah, it was. We'll see if they can bring the DPS again today. I've got a feeling they can. Meanwhile, on the Chengdu Hunters side, questions abound about their tank line as we're moving in to the 2-2-2 meta. I mean, we know Among's such a great wrecking ball, but is that really something you can rely on going through here? Jichiren so far has not seemed to be the strongest main tank in the league right now, so who do you rely on?
I think it's an excellent question. We don't really have a lot of data on Among's Orisa play, which has come to be one of the most important heroes in this meta. Jichiren really wasn't synergizing well with the team and played like a lot of Reinhardt, so still questions about him and whether he's going to be Owl capable in some of these other roles. So especially Chengdu, who's a team that has played a lot of triple DPS. That's not an option anymore. You can only play 2 damage dealers at a time.
Yeah, exactly. So they might, weirdly enough, the team that played probably some of the most DPS we saw so far this year might be the most tested when you're forced to have 2 DPS on your roster. They're 9-12 in the overall season standings, as you can see. A little bit of a rough map differential at -11, but they're right on that bubble, right on the outside looking in from those stage 4 play-ins.
Yeah, as you can see, Fusion in 9th place right now, but yeah, they've got a couple of match buffer right there, and it does help that they're playing in the Atlantic Division, which is generally easier.
Yeah.
But you need to pick up wins against the Charge, because those should be more definitive in favor of the Fusion if they are really serious about making a playoff run.
Yeah, very true. So 2 teams with a lot on the line today. Let's give it up for the first one. It's the Philadelphia Fusion. Our Overwatch League 2018 season runners-up, trying to make another run at the playoffs. It might be a little bit tougher this time around than last year. A lot depends on that man in the front, Carpe. Of course, one of the most clutch players we have in the league.
He was taking some big risks yesterday, though.
It certainly was. A lot of long flanks. It got maybe a little bit too long, even.
I mean, he was doing 1-for-1 trades, but he was in the back line, which allowed the Guangzhou Mercy to resurrect the person he killed, and then Neptuno couldn't get in there to help out Carpe on the resurrection. Yeah, so you really have to get several eliminations if you're going to make those plays, and it really wasn't happening. Carpe, he was putting a lot, I think, on his own shoulders to carry this team, but I'm not sure that's really necessary in this meta. He has excellent teammates to help him out.
That's the thing. At the end of the day, you need to trust your teammates, too. You can't always be the hero, right? Meanwhile, on the other side, let's hear it for the other team in this series. It's the Chengdu Hunters. And the Hunters again. This is, when I looked at the schedule for this week, this is one of the matches I was the most excited about because I'm really curious, like we already talked about, how they're going to handle the tank situation. What heroes are they going to have these guys playing?
And that's the question, because they made a name for themselves in the first 3 stages, playing their own style, carving out their own niche. It's not really clear that that niche is going to work any longer.
Well, they've got Among and Elsa in for the tanks right now, and Bacon Jack actually in for DPS. All right.
Yeah, that's interesting. Obviously, Bacon Jack probably going to be used for some Widowmaker play here.
Sure.
Makes sense that he would be one of the starting players in this roster, considering his hit scan skills, and that's what he was brought up for. We look at his play historically going all the way back to Flash Wolves in Taiwan, and it was a lot of tracer play, a lot of other hit scans. So that's what we're going to see him most likely take control of.
That's right. EQO on the Philadelphia Fusion side is a DPS player we're going to be taking a look at. Definitely one of the best DPS we've got out there. And he's played, as you can see, a lot of Brigitte this season, but I think those days are done. No more Brigitte for EQO. Oh no, now it's all about the Genji, it's going to be about the Hanzo, whatever else this guy wants to play. The Pharah, although we haven't seen as much of that in the first week here in Stage 4, he can play the Mei as well. Very versatile player, and when you combine his versatility and his individual skill on all these heroes with Carpe's playmaking ability on those hit scan heroes, it really is one of the best DPS duos out there.
Yeah, and EQO really did well in the Mei yesterday. He was off wandering on his own a lot of the time while the rest of his team stayed as a group and trying to zone out Widowmakers, and he was winning a lot of those duels. So you saw it in the highlights coming into this match. So he definitely has his own style, and they're trusting in him to be able to go make plays all on his lonesome.
That's right. So our map set brought to you by Toyota, starting things off on Busan for Control. Then Hanamura will be our assault map, Blizzard World for Hybrid, Junkertown for Escort, and if we need it, and we do pretty often with Philly, our fifth and final tiebreaker map,
which is Lijiang Tower.
Exactly. So, again, the story for Philly today is mental fortitude. A tough loss yesterday in that tiebreaker map. Can they come back and get a win against Chengdu?
And we've seen Elsa play Diva this season, and Elsa may be on that Diva duty here. Looks like they want to keep running with the Wrecking Ball, and Jinmu, of course, on one of his signature heroes in the Doomfist, so pretty hard pick composition from the Chengdu Hunters. Carpe back on the Reaper, and they're looking for that same close quarters combat. Speed boost in with the Lucio, lots of healing from the Moira. They want to get up close and personal. That's going to be tricky against the Doomfist, though, because if they try and rush in, he's going to have a lot of options to punch people into the wall.
Yeah, definitely. Jinmu trying to flank a little bit around the side, trying to get an angle on those tanks right now. Carpe can be so damaging, too, if he just kind of sticks around the corners and pops out, hits people close range. Sato takes out Jinmu already, but Bacon Jack there for a shot onto Carpe as well. Meanwhile, Hunter's in position to take the point first, and they will just barely not secure it yet. Philadelphia now at the point trying to fight back. EQ on that Sombra, trying to get the hacks he needs. Got the hack onto Kaio for the moment. He has to back away. Philadelphia Fusion now. But they lose Neptuno. Fast coalescence coming out, but box down. Doesn't matter. Bacon Jack popping off. But Carpe comes back again. The support's on Philly down though, so I don't know how long they can hang in here. Chengdu Hunters, after this long fight, still having a chance to take this one, get the percent going early. Jinmu taken out by EQO, but after he gets a kill as well, it's such a back and forth battle already in this series. Now the minefield for Among already? Are you kidding me? Nobody has any percent yet.
I mean, this is crazy. Sato also with that minefield drop. Hack coming through. EMP is there for EQO. It is pandemonium.
Hunters, though, finally get the control percent going. Jinmu trying to get the cleanup. Pops Poco out of the mech, gets another kill himself. Elsa with the cleanup. And finally, a little bit of time to breathe here for both these teams and us.
I mean, so much happened in those few seconds. Jinmu took a risky flank, but it was the Chengdu Hunters who managed to stall out time enough for him to revive. We saw a lot of ultimates. Bacon Jack creating the picks, and you can't fight Chengdu in these chaos situations. They are too good at it.
That's right.
Meteor strike.
They will definitely beat you if you journey to their level of insanity. Bacon Jack with another kill onto Carpe already. Ooh, right into Sato. Has to roll through. EQO down already. Just kind of got run over there.
Bacon Jack killing everybody.
With another coalescence. Didn't help him too much last time. And look at that. He has to run away mid-ultimate.
I mean, Bacon Jack is carrying right now, Doa. He has 7 final blows out of Chengdu's 13 kills.
Another one.
There's 8. He has 8 limbs, and 8 of those are final blows.
Yeah, but guess what, Monty? It's pretty easy to set up those shots when the rest of your team is just in the face of the opponents. Like, there's no pressure on this guy right now.
Got another infrasight. Yeah, I definitely agree. The pressure hasn't been there because Philadelphia isn't playing a composition that can get into the back line, except for the Wrecking Ball and the Sombra, and they've been focusing on Jinmu. EQO has been trying to stop Jinmu because a hacked Doomfist is useless.
Yeah. Jinmu causing so much pandemonium. Meanwhile, the minefield laid down as Philadelphia tries to approach a point. Sato taken out, ironically, by the minefield of Amok. Carpe now finally trying to get into those back lines, but has to retreat a little bit too. Instead, Neptuno with the sound barrier, but you got to gather everybody up to get the shield on them. 90% for the Chengdu Hunters already here. It's looking grim for Philadelphia unless they can turn this fight around. Carpe with the kill on the queue. That definitely does help out. Meanwhile, Sato taking a lot of damage. GQO low as well. A lot of low health members on Philadelphia Fusion. Bacon Jack looking to make them no health members. Carpe the first to fall, and Bacon Jack again. More damage coming in. Poco goes for the bomb, but it doesn't matter. Jinmu untouched, finally gets hacked, and Philadelphia Fusion, a ton of ultimates. They finally flip the point. Jeez. Crazy round so far.
It's going to take the EMP, though. That's not something you want to necessarily use right now. Want to save that, but they've got to prevent the Chengdu Hunters from even attempting to take back this point, given the precarious situation that they are in.
Well, yeah, 99% for Chengdu already. One more fight, and they'll take the round. Philadelphia has a chance to finally become the defender instead. Bacon Jack is going to make a swap over onto the Sombra now.
Really smart swap, I think, the Bacon Jack. You realize that you really only need one EMP to potentially win this match, so you're gonna have time to get it if you swap out. Poco just pile-driven into the dirt.
I got Mario stopped there a little bit here. Yvel fell down to Sato's minefield though, so it's 1-for-1. Carpe though gets hacked, can't get out. Jinmu with an easy kill there. Not hard to land that punch when the Tracer can't blink, and he's gonna miss it though. He's gonna miss it. Neptuno gets a kill. Among there for the revenge. And the minefield just kind of chilling out on the point right now. Chengdu Hunters though getting the kills, and they're trying to flip it. Nearly have this one. And they will flip it back, just zoning out Philadelphia Fusion. And now it's all about OT, trying to prevent the Hunters from finishing this round. Philadelphia Fusion doing a good job of regrouping here, but they lose Carpe in the process. Jinmu down on the boombox again. And you know what? That Moira is not very intimidating to Doofus, I gotta say. And from the skies comes Jinmu one more time to try to seal the deal. Round one goes to the Hunters. Welcome to Crazy Town.
Well, I guess if you can just keep playing Wrecking Ball, why not?
Yeah, I mean,
What do you
since when have the Hunters, you can see they love this stuff, dude. Since when have the Hunters ever played the meta?
I mean, this is what is so fun about the Hunters is
Yeah.
they're just going to do their own thing. And, you know, we've seen teams run with the Sombra and the Doomfist together, but, you know, oftentimes that was brought up in contenders, especially by teams like Element and Mystic as part of a GOAT's counter. But
Sure.
still, I mean, it's going to be a pick composition for sure. And now Jinmu going to be moving over to the Sombra. Hero we don't see him playing very frequently.
We'll see how he does on it. Bacon Jack back with the Widowmaker. They want to take advantage of those sight lines on this point. The train station certainly does have that. I'm just sad whenever Jinmu doesn't play the Doomfist, but you know what? You gotta swap off it once in a while. I understand that.
As far as his
I don't
hunts are
like it.
pretty nuts too. He's an excellent mechanical player.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of pressure on the Bacon Jack here. Has to back away. Sato.
They're just hacking
up on the high ground
Carpe.
to be annoying. Yeah, and EQO down to like 1 HP as well. Carpe down, and that's the thing with the Tracer. In a Sombra-centric meta, or any meta where Sombra's played a lot, Tracer has a hard time. You get hacked once and you're just a sitting duck, you know?
And they're just focusing on it. So what happened at the start of that fight on the point was that the Philadelphia Fusion, EQO hacked Elsa, but when they tried to all-in the hack Diva, we just saw Jinmu wait for Carpe, hack Carpe, and they just kill Carpe instantly.
Yeah.
And killing Carpe has been a very good strategy for teams in the past. If we harken all the way back to the grand finals, the London Spitfire, they really just camped Carpe with Gesture, and they neutralized most of the threat coming in from Philadelphia.
I mean, you talk about the talent on Philadelphia, and there is a lot there, but the playmaker has always been Carpe, and you know, you take out the best guy on the team. That's a 5v6 that you're definitely going to feel pretty confident in.
Yeah, get for side out now.
Yep.
I'm gonna try and delay to get some more of that percentage on the point. Plenty of tools so far for Chengdu, waiting on that EMP.
Yep.
EQ already has his.
Amon with the minefield down. Jinmu, meanwhile, getting a kill on the Neptuno in the backlines. Good start for the Chengdu Hunters. And now as the sneak is attempted by Carpe, just go back, chase him off the point again. Gonna be a little bit annoying here, but Amon, he's got the healing from his Ana. He's not too concerned about any of that, I think. Yo. Had used the nano boost as well, too.
I mean, it's going to be fine for them.
Yeah.
Philadelphia's just trying to stack ults right now. They're nearly up to 5. Neptuno won't be too far away to add that sound barrier. So the economy game in favor of the Philadelphia Fusion, but they've only got a couple pushes left.
That's right, hack comes in. Ooh, Sato down already. Amunk did get hacked. Oh, EQO. Managed. All right, well, that's an interesting graphic there, but anyway, it's being a little bit annoying here. Jinmu comes in with a hack now. Gets EQO. EQO unable to use his Sombra ultimate. There goes Kyo. Poku catches him with the self-destruct. And can the Hunters hold on here? That's the question. They're at 90% right now. Kills being traded by both teams.
Only 2 Hunters left on the point.
That's right. So you okay for Philly.
Yeah, it looks like Philly's finally going to be able to swap this one. As they will get out, except for Jinmu, who's just going to charge a little bit more of that EMP. EQO still has his ultimate available for the next fight, but now Chengdu, they've got a lot of time to get their own Sombra ult available and flip this for the final time.
EQO pops that EMP defensively. Poke out of the mech already, but Elsa soon to follow. Being D.Va suitless. Carpe goes for the stick, doesn't hit it. Bacon Jack hits him though. Gets that shot. And now another one on the EQO. Bacon Jack back to carry again. What a shot on the boombox. And that is what I'm talking about. Bacon Jack. Certainly a great member to the Overwatch League. And it's skeet shooting when D.Va pops out of that suit.
That's going to be it.
99. Overtime. Carpe keeps it alive just for now. Sato's zoned out though. He can't approach a point. Too much damage coming in. How long can they keep overtime going? That's the question here. Sound barrier, Sato down already though. It's a 5v6 at best for the Philadelphia Fusion. Bacon Jack finally taken out by EQO, but the EMP comes in from Jinmu, and that's gonna make it tough for Philly to hang on that point, try to flip it. Can't quite do it. Overtime ticking away faster and faster as the Chengdu Hunters continue to eliminate members of Philly, and that is a 2-0 for the Hunters on Busan.
Well, at least they can still roll with the big teams on control, Doa. That was really convincing. And no problems, apparently, for Chengdu. Still running the wrecking ball. Among still gets a minefield seemingly every team fight.
Yep. Well, when you're playing that much wrecking ball, you know how to squeeze every little bit of percentage out of that little lead for the Chengdu Hunters. Let's see if Philly can tie it up when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
You're powered up. Get in there.
Welcome to Assist of the Week, presented by State Farm. The 6-seeded LA Valiant were holding the payload against the Hangzhou Spark right up to the point that Adora's Batiste dropped Amplification Matrix and Godsby fired Hanzo's arrow right through. Even with Kuri's Transcendence, the damage was too much and the Spark broke on through.
Dragon Strike through the Amp Matrix. That's going to do a ton of damage. But it's going to be the Transcendence does not save Shax, and Cussa goes down too. That is a lot of damage to try to heal through. Oh, it's a Chengdu Hunters world, and apparently we're all just living in it. Unfortunately, Philadelphia is living in it the most right now, and they went down on Busan. We'll see if they can bring it back on Hanamura as we go towards our assault map, but you know, like we were talking about before the break, we had a lot of questions about the Hunters coming into this one. Are they going to try to play a little bit more meta, or are they just going to continue to be the Chengdu Hunters? And I'm happy to report, Monty, that they are still the Chengdu Hunters we know and love. The personality, the spirit, the soul of the Hunters is still there.
If the meta game is a dogma that professional players follow, Noah, the Chengdu Hunters are the apostates of,
pretty much, yeah.
of Overwatch.
They are heretics through and through, yep.
And I love it.
Yeah.
I
can't complain. Welcome to Hanamura. It's going to be our assault map. I love our huge screen in the studio, by the way. It looks so cool. If you ever get a chance to come down and check it out in person, definitely do so.
It looks especially cool with Hanamura.
Yeah, I think Hanamura is like one of my favorites for sure. It's very pleasant, very peaceful. The calm before the storm, if you will. Checking out the early compositions here. Philadelphia Fusion going for what's pretty standard on this map at the moment. As far as DPS goes, the Hanzo Mei, and then on the Hunters side, well, it's the Chengdu Hunters.
It's dive comp.
Yeah.
What it is
it's
a dive
Bacon
comp.
Jack's turn to play the Doomfist, apparently.
It is
if they stick with it.
It is an unorthodox dive composition where Mr. Bacon Jack will be here on the Doomfist. Nope.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, how many teams do you know that have two different Doomfist players? The answer is not many, but it will be Hanzo, Genji, Jinmu, a noted Genji player as well.
Nope. Bacon Jack back on the Doomfist. So it is going to be a dive composition after all. So they're going to take a look and see that perhaps the back line is going to be vulnerable here and see if they can make their way through this with the help of the defense matrix.
Vulnerable
reflect. Yeah.
Carpe, though, does find the headshot on the Bacon Jack. There goes the Veltal. So this first push is going to be stuffed pretty quick.
The idea there is that you use your defensive abilities. Nice shot by Carpe.
Had no stats, you know. Oh, Kyo. Whoops. Don't think he expected that Storm Arrow to come through the tree like that. That's good advice, Arisa. Thank you. Thanks. I would have not. You know, you should tell some of my teammates and rank that, actually. I'd appreciate that. They could use that advice.
Wow.
Should go down again, man.
Ultimate is ready.
Hey. And his ultimate's ready.
So they're
good start.
They're playing forward right now because if Chengdu Hunters just have the free reign to approach these windows, then they can use the defense matrix and the reflect to get through them. But they are either going to have to blow their cooldowns early right now, or they're just going to get filled full of arrows.
Yeah. Oh, Carpe trying to chase him down. Really tunneling on Carpe here with the Dragon Strike thrown through the doorway. Doesn't separate them enough. Oh, goodbye. Carpe with the kill on a Jinmu. Clearly not phased by that first map.
Carpe's been one of our best Hanzos since this league began.
Yeah.
And he knows that when he throws out that Dragon Strike, that not all of the players can come through the choke. So he has the freedom to go take that 1v1.
Yeah. And he's going to win a lot of those 1v1s as well. Bacon Jack gets hooked. Crescent Land gets a little bit more shields, but it's not enough as Poco nails him with the right click. And Carpe continuing to hold up on the high ground. Philadelphia Fusion with a ton of ultimates. They use the Mercy one and the Dragon Strike, of course, in that fight. But they've still got plenty to spare. Good, efficient ult saving by Philly right now. And Bacon Jack forced to swap over to that Sombra. His Doomfist did not impress me, really. I'm glad he's making that swap.
I think it's hard because the Philadelphia Fusion are playing this intelligently, and now they realize with 2 minutes left, they'll have time to charge an EMP. They need to make a couple of eco pushes right now, maybe force out that Blizzard.
All right, well,
Nanoblade.
the Nanoblade, they're going to go for it, but Ama frozen, de-lifed. Poco with the kill onto Jinmu. It's a winter wonderland for Philadelphia Fusion right now, and their gift might be a full hold on point A.
Bacon Jack only got 25% of the charge in the last 30 seconds or so because of how quick that attack was stopped. But Philly used a lot of ults. They used 3 ults on that last defense. So now Chengdu's time to take this point comes into play.
Oh, self-destruct coming in. Sato a little bit low health, but Among backing off to the point right now. Carpe under some pressure here. Like that a lot as Elsa goes forward, but it's another Dragon Strike for Carpe. He's gonna wait out the defense matrix, but Elsa finishes him off anyway. Bacon Jack taken out by Boombox though. Yveltal not to be left out of the kill feed. He's gonna take out EQO. Among forced to back away. Oh, Neptuno killed by the minefield. All right.
I just wanted to fly into a mine.
All right. Among just running through everybody right now. First tick taken by Chengdu, but there goes Elsa. They've got some progress here, but I don't know if it's enough. 2 ticks now, and Philadelphia Fusion coming back in. They've got that Orisa shield. It's going to be tough for the Hunters to break them out of that position, especially without their Lucio. And EQO is going to chase Among away. Frozen and denied. And now just 20 seconds left for Chengdu to try to make a play at point A. They're going to have the EMP, they're going to have the Dragon Blade, but they don't have a lot of time.
It took Bacon Jack so long to get that EMP, Doa. I don't know what they can do. They've got to touch the point the next 5 seconds.
EQO just trying to chase down Jinmu right now as well. He can nail him with the right click, not quite. Blade comes in. Overtime just barely kept going by the Chengdu Hunters. Among throws. They're trying to keep him healed. Jinmu gets 2 with the Dragon Blade right away. Has to avoid the Blizzard, but as soon as it ends, ooh, nice Maywall to try to protect the Ana. Gets a reflect, gets the health pack going back in. They're not done yet. Gets another one. EQO falls. That's 3 for Jinmu already. Supercharger in play. Not enough damage, though. Sato takes it out with his self-destruct. Neptuno's still alive, but Boombox is down now. That Mercy is all that's left for healing on the Philadelphia Fusion side, and slowly the Chengdu Hunters seem to be overwhelming them on point A. It was so close, but it looks like Chengdu is gonna get another chance here.
Yeah, the price was high, but they finally got that EMP that they swapped to. Took Bacon Jack a while, but once it came through, it worked. Bacon Jack now switching to McCree. We're gonna take a look at this Dragon Blade again, because he's gonna get a, well, he did get 2 tanks with 1 dash right there.
Yeah, 2 tanks with 1 dash, and then he did get a 3rd follow-up kill a little bit later. Now, because of the changes on assault maps, it's only 3 minutes that were given to the Hunters after they take point B. Some changes came in. Bacon Jack on the McCree now, actually, and Carpe finally swapping to that Widowmaker.
That's going to be a response to seeing the McCree. Obviously, not wanting to play Tracer into that, trying to take the range battle instead.
Can't blame him, yeah. A lot of damage onto the Hunters. This is not going to be their push. No, you just can't go through that. They went into the wood chipper there. And... although, a little bit too much damage. They get the res onto Jinmu, but I think they need to do some regrouping here. Hanging out by the door. That's a nice halt, actually. Elsa gets his mech back even, so surprisingly, Chengdu Hunters able to hang on to that position. That's a big kill onto Sato. That might be the go-ahead. They pull Poco up. They get another one. High noon already for Bacon Jack, and as everyone runs for cover, Among's going to get a clear shot to run over to point B.
Yeah, they're going for the point right now after the tanks have been eliminated, but the May's still there. Stall coming through now for Philly.
Yeah, that's right. EQO does have the Blizzard as well, so it's still going to be tough for Hunters to turn this into a point B take. Carpe looping behind the big flank from the Widowmaker, and Q down already. Yveltal there for the res, but now Sato, vulnerable, Among rather, taken out. Carpe coming back down again, and sometimes those big flanks pay off. That's the kind of play they need Carpe to make. That said, Jinmu's still on the point, but not for long. They finally get the kill, and Chengdu forced to go back to spawn.
And those are the kind of flanks you can make if you have that range advantage. So Carpe was really playing around the fact that Bacon Jack switched over to the McCree as a tracer counter, made the counter swap, and then adjusted his positioning to get the eliminations on the point. Bacon Jack still wants to play the McCree, bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it's a little bit surprising because there's no one really to hit with that flashbang. No one's really going to be coming at you the way you'd have to worry about with a Tracer or a Genji or something like that.
Maybe you can hit a May, but that's pretty optimistic.
Maybe. Chengdu walking up the stairs now, trying to come from the right side again. Carpe with that Orb of Discord. Make it easier to take him out. Jumps down. Ooh, that was a nice try. On the kill, but the Dragon Strike comes through. Elsa ate the Blizzard as well. EQO loses that crucial May ultimate and then loses his life. Bacon Jack with 2 onto the McCree. And now Hunters onto the point. Can they possibly take point B here? They've only got 10 seconds left. A kill onto Mercy would be absolutely massive here. And they get it! Jinmu hits him with the Sonic Arrow, and now the Deadeye. Oh, they broke the Orisa shield, and there goes Sato. No defense against that Deadeye. Has to hide from the Widowmaker, though. We're into OT, but yet again, Chengdu Hunters trying to hold on to this point B take. They're so close right now. Poco down. can't quite hang with it. And are you kidding me? The Hunters so close to taking point B in overtime. Neptuno down as well. They're handling the respawns. Sato hit with the nano boost from Boombox, but doesn't survive very long. They've nearly got a 98.7%, and now it's 100% as the Hunters managed to barely squeak out 2 points on Hanamura.
Carpe tried to take the long flank again, and the Hunters, once they saw the tracer from his bullet, just rammed into the bulk of the fusion beyond Carpe's line of sight.
Why not?
And that's what caused them to crush the front line of the fusion and get their foothold on the point.
Well, Fusion has their mission. 2 points and some time bank. If they can do it, we'll see.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Helden sterben nicht. Schutzengel ist da. Helden sterben nicht.
Routing power to forward shield.
Cease your resistance.
Well, Philadelphia Fusion giving up 2 points to the Chengdu Hunters attack here on Hanamura, but crucially forcing them into overtime doing it. So that means if Philadelphia Fusion is able to take the time with any time bank remaining, then they're going to have a good chance of winning this one, because then Hunters won't get a second attack.
Yeah, it depends on whether the Philadelphia Fusion are going to end with more than a minute.
That's right.
So if they end under a minute, then both teams will get an attack over a minute. Then we'll just see the Fusion attacking.
Oh, Reinhardt. All right, Reinhardt Zarya, here we go. It is time. The Beyblade returns. Maybe not.
Yeah, they see that Pharah, and I think they might rethink this after the Pharah is seen. Running Reaper May, Reinhardt Zarya into Pharah might not be a great idea. So,
Probably not.
you know what is a great idea? Though, running Carpe's Widowmaker.
There you go. I like it.
You also.
We saw a shot of Poco there too. I think I discovered one of Philly's issues with this match. Shaved his mustache already. It lasted 1 day, Monty. 1 day.
He quit really fast.
No kidding. I thought it'd be at least week 3, but come on, Poco.
I lasted a stage.
I know, he quit a lot faster than you did in the mustache department. I've had one for well over a year now, just I have a beard attached to it. Carpe. For shots now. Nice eat on the halt from Poco.
It's a very annoying position for the Pharah because the snipers really don't have an angle, and Jinwoo's still able to cover the doorway.
Yeah, that's right.
And the window here.
It's always been a pretty safe position for Farah defensively.
Even if you are plucked out of the sky, you have that mercy for the resurrection.
Yep.
Jinwoo already with a barrage.
You can kind of use the roof too to get a little bit extra mileage out of your fuel too.
Nano boost onto EQO.
Yeah, and here we go. Jinwoo trying to come in from behind and goes in. Onto Carpe, gets the kill. 6v5 and still waiting to use that barrage. Maybe now's the time, he's gonna go for it. That's 2. Neptuno and EQO. Not able to do anything about it. Boombox wasn't around to land that sleep dart.
Jinwoo kills everyone.
Pretty much. literally everyone if he gets this kill. Get the pick.
They're gonna leave the mini diva for a while.
Yep, rocket from above. No, he's already firing the doorway, I'm sure. All right, so that's 5 kills.
Well, this is also
happy with that.
answering some questions about Among's Orisa. So, a rarely seen sight, but so far holding strong here for the Chengdu Hunters. More than half the time off the clock right now. Bacon Jack could have waited a little bit longer to use that in for sight, as Philadelphia still collecting themselves.
Yeah, why not? No need to pop that early when they're still kind of regathering after respawning. Use it when they're starting to move in. Like you did, Jinmu already 80% towards another barrage, 84%. This guy builds barrages insanely fast. And then he's down EQO, gets the nano boost and gets the 2K. Supercharger not quite killed, didn't hit the headshot on that one. There we go, finish it off. And Chengdu Hunters trying to equalize. Veltal gets a kill on Carpe. Do not miss. Whoa, what a shot from EQO as well. And Philadelphia Fusion relying on their Hanzo and EQO delivering.
Wow, that was the second time they nano boosted. This time, completely worth it. EQO flips out and kills everyone.
Bacon Jack already back on that Tracer, but doesn't really make a big difference, though. He's going to get to respawn quickly with the new assault rules anyway, though.
Everybody else needs to head back towards the base.
Yep.
Bacon Jack switches over to the Sombra. 2 snipers, 2 ultimates on the damage dealers for the Philadelphia Fusion. Jinmu will hold on to the Pharah just a little bit longer. He's got that barrage, and they have the nano boost. It's probably why they're sticking with it. Among switch to ball.
Yep. Veltal, a little bit of trouble again for him. Carpe has to retreat, though. He got the aggression from Elsa to force him away. Ooh, very aggressive by Among. Gets anti-healed, though. And no, that's a big Dragon Strike coming through the middle. Finds Kyo right where the Hunters were standing. Sato drops that Supercharger as Philadelphia Fusion try to move in. They've got 3 minutes now to try to take this point, and Elsa's already out of the Diva mech. EQO finishes off Elsa. And I think Philly's got a good shot here. And getting that time bank they were looking for. EQO with the kill into Kyo, and Jinmu down as well. EQO just tearing it up on this Hanzo right now. Veltal down, and there's another nano boost onto EQO. He's trying to finish it here on point B. D-Mac, and there's a Dragon Strike going right through the spawn. Nobody able to leave. Elsa taken out by that one. And it's a great attack so far for Philadelphia Fusion. Jinmu gets a big one onto Boombox, though. But Sato there, and Neptuno has the res onto the Ana. And Philadelphia Fusion just seem to be impossible to dislodge here. Elsa still in the mech, delaying as long as he can, but it's already 2 ticks taken by Philadelphia Fusion. They're just handling the respawns one by one. Nice headshot from Carpe. Looking for another one here. Maybe. Chengdu Hunters been lasting. I don't know, man. There is a lot of low health members of the Hunters still. So Veltal dies with his Valkyrie available. Bacon Jack comes back with a kill onto Carpe finally. Valkyrie. And Hunters are still in it. They're denying it. EQO trying to finish it, though. Bacon Jack down again. And this Mercy above. Veltal using the Mercy ultimate to keep the Diva healed for such a long time, but they just can't stay on the point. A long fight, and in the end, that was actually a solid defense by Hunters, using so much time after time bank, but at the end of the day, the objective was to finish with any amount of time on the time bank. Philadelphia did it with 1:45 remaining. They've got the edge.
Yeah, they do. Now Chengdu can only play for that tie. 1 tick, however, gives Philadelphia Fusion the win here on Hanamura.
Yeah, putting themselves in position to tie up the series. We'll see if they can do it when we come back. Step A finish with some time remaining. Philadelphia did that. Step B, win the map, tie up the series. They've got a good opportunity to do that. Remember, all they need is just 1/3 of point A to win the map.
Same defense here from the Chengdu Hunters.
Scouting from Sato on that wrecking ball.
Philadelphia Fusion, though, they're going dive this time. Trying to get on the point as fast as they can, and then use Boombox to go ahead and heal them up.
Ooh, interesting.
Against all of this incoming Pharah damage.
Yeah,
EQO
yeah.
gonna disrupt. He's gonna try and back cap here.
Yeah, they're just trying to split up the attention of the Chengdu Hunters, make it harder for Jinmu to really cover all those entrances.
I mean, the problem is that Boombox, Neptuno, and Poke are all stuck outside of the gate by this Pharah.
That's right. Does make it a little bit trickier, but the back cap potential is there. Sleep Dart, meanwhile, comes in, woken up already. Q gets hacked. And they're starting to slowly make their way towards the point now. Kyo down, EQO finds a big pick with the Sombra to begin with. Now Poco D-Mac is almost, no, he's staying in there, he's getting the healing. And now Amok, the one in trouble here. Jinmu flying around, but you can't solve the point, you can't save it. As far as that's it, Philadelphia Fusion take Hanamura, tie up the series.
Quick, decisive attack. I like the adjustments by Philadelphia, causing chaos by touching the point.
Yeah, that was really well done. Dividing and conquering the Chengdu Hunters. We have ourselves a series halftime when we come back.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back in the Blizz Arena, and they gave me a gun. You guys ready to have some fun? Here we go, fans. Kicking this one off. It's all tied up. And there it comes from the sky. You all deserve it. You all deserve it. They made me give my gun away so I could do my job. Welcome back. It's halftime, and as you can see on this board, it is 1-1 between the Fusion and the Chengdu Hunters. Who is the better orange team? Tonight, we find out. We've got Bren, we've got Sideshow, and...
boy around.
Well, Bren, Sideshow, I point generically, and the camera doesn't know the depth. Anyway, let's talk about these games, Bren. Walk me through our first map.
Yeah, map one was an intriguing one, honestly, because we got to see a couple of stuff. A big question on all of our minds: what was Chengdu going to be throwing at us? You know, a lot of people said that the 2-2-2 roll-off was going to be a bit of a nerf to them, a bit more to their creativity.
I thought it would be.
But at the end of the day, when you are confined to such a small box, you find your way out of the box, and Chengdu have done just that. Jinmu was absolutely demolishing. Bacon Jack coming out like it was 2016 again. This was a phenomenal opening from the Chengdu Hunters.
Bacon Jack impressed me so much because the guy really hasn't had an opportunity to show his caliber on these hit scan rolls, and he just dominated this early mode. And the Philadelphia Fusion still look like they're finding their footing with control maps. They're not getting the best value out of compositions that you would kind of think would work really well for them. The Sombra Tracer, where you can have Carpe go wild, Child or where he can go onto the Reaper, something they were pioneering in the previous match, doesn't seem to be working out for them, and they really struggled there.
So everyone's kind of been wondering who is going to be the hit scan hero for the Hunters. We saw YXL taking that role when he was on the McCree. We've seen Bacon Jack at times. After seeing Bacon Jack in this first half, is that who you expect in the second half as well?
I don't know. YXL is actually really competent too. I suppose it's just whoever seems to have got to grips with it over the course of getting into the 2-2-2 meta. YXL also plays a bunch of like the Junkrat as well for them, so he might be leaning more towards the projectile stuff as they go through.
I'm just happy to see more DPS guys. Whoever plays it, love to see it. Let's talk about our second map though, because this is where Philly started to get some revenge.
Yeah, Hanamura was an interesting one because I was looking at this, and again, you're seeing a lot more of EQ on the Mei as an individual, which I was very impressed with. Jinmu, this guy I was talking about on the pre-show, I wanted to see his Genji because it's very, I mean, it's a high level of play that he plays at mechanically, but ultimately getting shut down actually a lot of the time by Philadelphia Fusion. Their coordination was enough to try and put an end to it. But I got to give a shout out again. I really want to talk about EQO's Mei as an individual because he was, I think right now, making a name for himself as possibly one of the better Meis that we have in the game. He's very intelligent in the way that he uses all of her kit.
I would also say that we've seen a lot of times so far in the limited sample size that we have of Stage 4 where one team will win the control map at the beginning but end up losing the series overall. And I think that's because we see these double sniper setups or the sniper Mei setups with Orisa Hog more so on the maps that are not control. So that's where the team like the Philadelphia Fusion can lean on their experience that they had during last year's playoff run and start to really dig in. So we could see the Fusion start to take over this series more as we get to things like Hybrid and Escort.
Now, when we're thinking about the comps, a lot of times the first thing we're thinking about is DPS now in the 2-2-2 roll lock. But we've also been keeping our eyes on some tanks. Josh, what did you collect from social media today?
Oh, obviously, it was all focused on Poco. This was his reasoning for the last loss. He said he blamed the mustache for his defeat. I mean, I don't know about that. That seems like a bit of blame, but Fusion's own Neptuno came back with the answer. He knew the solution to the problem. And in case any of you didn't see his incredible mustache from previously.
You betrayed me, mustache. I
betrayed
thought
me,
you were the one mustache. Now, you must pay for your sins.
So now he's gotten rid of it. I mean, the mustache didn't even last. It didn't last whatsoever, which is an incredible disappointment, I think. And so in homage to the mustache, we've donned our own.
Of course, yeah.
Which I think is a great look for all of us apart from Brent.
What do you mean? Mine is actually the most fleshed out. Yours, I think we need to bring out of Razor. It's a fake mustache and it's terrible.
Yeah, I can't even grow a fake mustache. It's actually brutal.
A fake mustache. I like that. Well, Josh, I know that we have a special moment that we should look at from the mustacheless man himself. What do you got from Poco today?
Well, I really wanted to analyze, whether the mustache was the problem. So coming into this next game, I've got insights powered by Intel where I run through what was going through Poco's head and more importantly, what was underneath his nose and between his upper lip. Because I think that was what allowed him to sniff out this play in particular. So what you see is they've got this kind of classic composition to break it. That's the Chengdu Hunters, where they have the Nano Blade about to come out. And that's all down to Poco to shut this down, because he needs to save his whole hog and to stop that from having the effect of breaking up their defense. So as we roll out this play, you can see that he's actually holding the front lines, gets a hook, but it's the Nano Blade that he tries to shut down. He utilizes his hold hog, pushes them all the way back, and they even use the Nano Boost on the target that Jinmu was going for. So here it is from Poco's point of view. Without that mustache there, he sniffs out this Nano Blade instantly. He just snorts all of that up and yeets it into the distance. So honestly, I think it was because he doesn't have the mustache anymore. I think he was totally correct. And for that reason, I think Philadelphia Fusion are going to take the second half.
Well, I know you're the experts, but we should pull the fans here?
Yeah,
I think we should pull the fans. Do any fans out there think the mustache was the problem? Any fans agree with that?
Oh.
Oh.
Not a problem.
Not needed. Not needed.
Not the
Mustache wasn't the problem. We'll find out, does Philly have the solution? They got 2 more games coming up after this.
Who was that?
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
وريهم قوتك.
Nerf this! All systems checked out. Justice rains from above. I am on fire.
Let's get you back in the fight. Helden sterben nicht. Heroes never die.
Nerf this!
You still need me, right?
I'm on fire! Taking possession of the objective.
Welcome back to our facial hair focused broadcast of today. Poco.
I'm sad. I don't
May
have
have
anything
lost.
to contribute.
I know, right? I've got, you know, a little bit of something there anyway, you know. But I thought Brent kind of looked like the Canadian Evel Knievel character from Toy Story 4. Like that's who he kind of reminded me of. I don't remember the character's name, but I remember his face.
I thought he looked like Budget Draven.
Yeah, that's possible too. Yeah, that's right. Only LOL kids understand. Anyway, we're in the middle of an Overwatch match here. It's going to be Philadelphia Fusion all tied up with the Chengdu Hunters here. Hanamura definitely going Philly's way. But can they keep things going that way?
I mean,
That's the question.
it did take that overtime push, right? Both teams
Yeah.
were completing the map, so wasn't too one-sided. But yeah, Philly pretty much in control throughout that.
Sure enough, there's a substitution, though, something we need to talk about. It's going to be Young Long subbing in for Bacon Jack in the DPS role for the Chengdu Hunters. What do you think about that?
I mean, it's a little bit interesting, I guess. It's hard to say what exactly their strategies are going to be, considering this is the first time we've seen Chengdu in the 2-2-2.
It is the Chengdu Hunters. So.
Yeah. And, you know, last time it was a lot of swapping Late Young and YXL back and forth, if we were to believe our previous metas, but this time with Bacon Jack swapped out instead. We will see YXL on historically his traditional role in the damage dealer.
Yeah. So we're going to Blizzard World. It's going to be our hybrid map. And we'll see if this amusement park of various game titles from Blizzard Entertainment is the place where Philadelphia Fusion will take the lead, continue their momentum from the second map, or will Hunters strike back and take a lead of their own?
How come all the good rides are in the background, Doa?
Well, because you wouldn't want the players to get distracted and focus on those instead of the actual objective. There's enough things to distract players from the objective in Overwatch. You don't need to give them a chance to ride rides, too, you know?
I think this part of Blizzard World is pretty lame when it comes to attractions.
What? No way, it's got snacks, Ramus, man. What are you talking about? You just don't play WoW. That's the issue, man. I would love to walk into a full-scale Stormwind. Someday, Blizzard will make the actual Blizzard World. I believe. And I will be there on the first day. Perhaps encased in one of the statues. We'll see. How long on the Doomfist? That's our third Doomfist player for the Hunters now in this series, if you're keeping track.
I don't know, I've never seen that before.
I know, I was gonna say. You think 2 people playing Doomfist is a lot, try 3. Philadelphia Fusion, though, not phased. Doesn't matter who's playing the Doomfist, unless it's Jinmu. They're going to repel it.
Yeah, I think when Sideshow was talking at halftime, we talk about these Mei, Orisa, Widowmaker, Hog comps. It's definitely stronger outside of Control, because Control maps are much more open, where you can get multiple angles to come around. Through these choke points on Assault, Escort, and Hybrid, it becomes much more viable to run them.
Well, that's another Doomfist eliminated here. They're trying to prevent Elsa from getting out as well.
Elsa killing both
Elsa got
supports.
2 kills, though. Yeah, that's a big one. And there's a good amount of self-healing between the Mei and the Roadhog on Philadelphia yet. A lot to deal with. Amon kills Carpe. There goes EQ as well. And so, The Chengdu Hunters on the verge of winning enough of a fight to take point A.
I mean,
You should get it.
It's cool and all if you can freeze some people in the front line, but if the D.Va just bows down both of your healers, then you're not going to be lasting very long on the rest of that point, especially when you're defending on A and the attacker respawns are so much closer.
I don't think they were expecting Elsa to become the assassin D.Va there for a second. Go back and get the double kill. Either way, the payload's going to start moving for the Chengdu Hunters, and Carpe swapping over to the McCree now. No doubt, a response to the Genji. And honestly, the Doomfist too.
Yep. I mean, you have a lot of options here. Wrecking Ball possibly also. Nano Blade.
That's right, here we go. Jinmu diving in. Does not get one quite yet. Now he gets Neptuno. Another one on the boombox. Both supports out of the way. That is a 3K for Jinmu. And a team kill for the Chengdu Hunters.
Well, that was quick. Luckily for Philadelphia Fusion, only really used a whole hog at the nano boost right there, so some opportunities to come back.
Yang Jialong swapping though. He's going to go over to the Sombra now, which I think is a better choice, perhaps for this point.
You're still going to be.
You can still use a Doomfist, but still.
I mean, you're still going to be vulnerable to that flashbang though. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of targets to think about. Elsa making a little room
Whoa,
here, and he gets
Boombox.
Boombox as a bonus.
You know, I looked in the back and Boombox was just poking just a bit over that stairway in the back, and that was enough to get eliminated with that one. Neptuno comes in for the resident of Carpe. EQO manages to fight off Elsa as well with the Blizzard, so Chengdu do have to back away, but close call.
Well, also, it costs so many ults from Philadelphia Fusion, most notably that Blizzard, right? You wanted to be able to save that one, but the Blizzard created room to resurrect Carpe.
Yeah.
So the revive comes through from Neptuno, and they're able to stave off the Hunters.
A hack on the EQO. In a little bit of trouble here. Meanwhile, Carpe with the Deadeye. Poco down already. And that's another one. He just hangs out. Oh, but there's a nice flashbang. And Carpe taking matters into his own hand. 6-shooter, unfortunately, cannot shoot all 6. And Chengdu Hunters still coming out on top in this fight.
And they just keep nano boosting Among as well.
Why not?
EQO's May, not long for this world. Very fast time so far for Chengdu as they complete B into point C right now. Still trying to get some of these split spawns in the front.
Yeah, Among getting hyper aggro here.
I mean, they're at least going to generate a lot of ult charge after that. Among with yet another minefield.
As usual, they're going to have a lot of ultimates coming into this one. Philly, pretty close to some of theirs as well. Crucially, both of their support ultimates should be online for the next fight.
Just depends on the EMP, right?
Sure.
The EMP and the Blade can cut down both of those supports super fast.
Quite true.
Yep.
Golan comes in, gets big EMP. Sato down already. Carpe, though, comes back with a Deadeye and a kill on a Jinmu. And you know, sometimes Carpe just clutches it out.
EMP doesn't turn out to be useful. Looked like Chengdu thought they had already had that one won.
I mean, they hit like 4 or 5 people with that EMP. It was a good one. They hit everybody but Carpe and Boombox with that one.
It made going in dangerous though because the Deadeye was triggered, right? The McCree wasn't hit.
True enough.
So when they rushed in straight to the Deadeye, that's a good halt.
It sure is, and that's Carpe caught by the self-destruct. Philly lucky they didn't lose more, honestly. Jinmu hacking away at the ice block, but he's gonna have to settle for a few other kills. Yang Jialong comes in for the triple, the quad on McCree in the meantime. It's another team kill, and that's a great play by Yang Jialong.
And still 3 minutes here for the Chengdu Hunters, so many resources used.
It's a ton of time.
Yeah, it's still gonna be hard to take this last point. They've got to eat this Blizzard. EQO finishing this map with a Mei ultimate might be a bit of a trick. Jinmu, Hanto, and check this out.
I'm a sneaky cowboy.
The hidden cowboy, how many people can he flashbang? Oh, he got multiple!
EQO taking out Carpe, turns around for another one in Poco. Luckily for Philly, able to take out Yveltal as well. That was a close call again. Poco kind of saving the day there a little bit.
That was fun. Jinmu also almost got an entire Dragon Strike from the amount of damage he did after swapping.
Yep.
So Chengdu knew they were going to be in a small bind there on an economy push. They were hoping maybe they could get that Blizzard out instead. Philadelphia reacts instantaneously to the flank. It was a bit sneaky. Among gonna take a nap there.
Yep.
Horses don't sleep like that.
Well, well, horses sleep standing up, don't they? I don't know a lot about horses. I don't know.
They're not flamingos, Noah.
I don't know. I've never raced horses. What can I say?
Noah's never seen a horse.
I've seen them. I just haven't seen them sleeping. Now Chol Hung with a kill. Deadeye's all over the place. Dead is survives. Carpe gets another one. Billy holds. I don't know. Some of my neighbors had horses when I was a kid, but I never like snuck over there at night or anything like that. I've only seen horses during the day. How should I know? What do you take me for? Some sort of horse expert?
No, I've never made that mistake.
Apparently you are. I bet you were into equestrian type of things, like, you know, whatever the horse sculpting thing is, polo, I don't know. Chengdu still pushing forward. They got that supercharger as well. Oh, double kill from Elsa. And here comes the Dragon Strike to handle those respawns, forcing them back, and nobody can get to the payload. That's a horse of a different color. Chengdu Hunters getting it done with some time left in the time bank.
Yeah, 56 seconds, so enough time that they will have another attack round, no matter what happens.
Not bad. Philadelphia Fusion. Another chance for them to equalize, get 3 points of their own when we come back. We'll see if they can do that.
Coca-Cola is the official refreshment of the Overwatch League.
Cease resistance. 冻住，不许走。
Philadelphia Fusion have a little bit of a job to do. 3 points taken by the Chengdu Hunters on their attack, and we'll see if Philly can equalize. A bit of a monitor adjustment. Can understand that. You know, we saw there was a post about Gamsu measuring, Gamsu and the Shanghai Dragons measuring the space between his monitor and his keyboard and all that kind of stuff. That's actually something a few of the top Korean pro players have done. You always want to make sure you've got that exact same setup that you had with practice, make you the most comfortable.
Timing on that Immortality Field kill, really good.
Boom.
Also, Neptuno
Box.
couldn't quite leap over the wall in time. But yes, as you say, it's a long history of Korean pro gamers have used rulers to recreate the precise distances.
Yeah, it's important, you know.
That their keyboard is away from the monitor, keyboard is away from the edge of the desk, keyboard is away from the mouse pad.
I mean, in a lot of these like high action per minute games, high aiming games, if your wrist is in like a weird position, you can feel it and it'll definitely throw you out.
Yeah,
you don't need that in a match like this.
Many of the teams also have exactly the same setups that we have here at the studio when it comes to desk height, desk width,
that's right,
monitors, equipment. So many teams choose to replicate that environment.
I know
very smart.
At least one team also replicated the same temperature because it's actually really cold here. So they even had it cold in their practice facility too. Don't know if they still do it, but go to extreme measures sometimes. Philadelphia Fusion now on the attack. Carpe looking for picks, but Among's gonna find one first on him. Neptuno there for the res. So he's still in it. Jimmy gets hooked, gets taken out. Philadelphia Fusion have that 65.
Not a resable position either.
No, not after the hook, no. Oh, another one, Poco. You know, we know he's been a good Roadhog in the past. We're seeing that again. That's a really great hooks from him.
That's a really quick point A take here from the Philadelphia Fusion.
You know, I think Hanzo is a little bit over-emotional sometimes when he shoots like that Sonic arrows and he's like, see that which is unseen. Like, I mean, he's just kind of around the corner, Hanzo. It's like, you don't really need to be that dramatic, you know?
Especially, you can do that several times a minute, so
That's right.
it gets kind of old after a while.
He's buying a soda and he's like, breathe the carbonated beverage if it's too. It's like, no, man, you're just putting like a couple points in the thing and getting the pop. Oh, Jinmu. It's a couple kills, one at the Dragon Strike, and Yangzhou Long finds Carpe as well, so Hunters, decent start on the defense here on point B. Oh, all right. Shotgun Hanzo finds the Mercy in the air. Here's a question for you.
Oh boy, what?
What is the exact science behind Hanzo's lunge? How does he abruptly shoot in a different direction in midair?
Powerful gas release.
What's going on there? Is it? I don't know. Him and Zenyatta have some explaining to do, I think. I thought Genji was the one who trained with Zenyatta. Clearly it's Hanzo instead. Self-destruct comes in. Elsa doesn't find anyone with that one, but Amon gets a kill onto Poco. So already Philly having a little bit of trouble pushing this payload forward. And they make that a lot of trouble. Boombox, Sato now down. Veltal gets the res on the Yangzhou Long as well, so they still have that Widowmaker pressure, and there goes Carpe. Elsa's just been slaying people left and right. He is like the DPS diva today. And I don't mean he's a dramatic diva player. I mean he is a great killer diva.
Yeah, he's been performing super well getting into Philadelphia's back lines. Boombox gonna switch off to Zen. That was I think a kind of weird pick, because you're trying to play it into diva and two snipers, which is a pretty vulnerable position for Zenyatta, and they're never gonna fight you in a range where that transcendence is the most useful. So
you're also not gonna have great right-click opportunities as that Zenyatta either, you know? Go down to Ken. Jinmu with yet another kill here. Veltal taken out though, a chance here. Carpe trying to clutch, trying to equalize. Jinmu gets two though, with the Dragon Strike. Carpe doing everything he can, but his teammates are falling around him. In the end though, Philadelphia has just enough people to keep pushing the payload.
And they were pushing the payload that whole time though, and it's gonna be a quick reset here from the members of the Chengdu Hunters. Jinmu's revived right now, so one, maybe two more defensive attempts here from Chengdu. Gave up pretty quick on point A.
That was all Carpe in that last fight.
Oh yeah, but this time, I mean, Chengdu at least holding a bit better on B.
I love these mid-air Widowmaker kills. My favorite things in Overwatch. Here comes the self-destruct from Elsa. No kills out of that one, but it does pause Philly, cause them to have to run for cover for just a moment. And now Neptuno using that ultimate to try to push Philly back onto the payload again.
Yeah, both Valkyries out, Nano Boost again onto EQO. They've been relying on his Nano Boost with this Hanzo.
He's delivered again. Among though gets res. Able to do just that. Jinmu comes back for the kill onto Carpe. Now EQO trying again to find more kills. That's a good Dragon Strike through the middle. Gonna do a lot of damage to Among. Sato gets the final blow, but it was mostly the Hanzo ultimate. Jinmu coming back with another one though. And Philadelphia with not a lot of people left on that payload.
They got the res though, but it did cost Boombox his life there on the payload. But the respawn's still coming in from Chengdu.
Yeah, they're coming in, but they're getting taken out as fast as they appear here. Ooh, the res comes in onto Jinmu, and now EQO fighting for his life again against both the Mercy and the Hanzo. Yveltal down though, Sato finds the big one, and Hunters, they bring it back. They stop the payload 0.01 meters from the end of point B.
This is some sloppy Overwatch though, both teams just throwing themselves into this Barco brawl. But it is entertaining to watch. Pure chaos at the end of that point. Philadelphia Fusion coming back in with not a lot of ults available. Neither do Chengdu Hunters though. They're gonna have Kyo maybe on the trance. But when you have to get together and push onto that payload, the trance might be a bit more useful.
1 minute left now for Philly Fusion. Even if they do get into point C, it's gonna be kind of tough. Gotta get past the pylon first. Oh, boombox down. That's another big pick for
Rez.
Junkertown Long.
Something is done.
Rez is there, of course, but it slows him down. That's it.
Jinmu being
4
annoying.
seconds.
He's got one arrow till he gets Dragon Strike. Can't quite hit it.
Yeah, but Junkertown Long taken out, though. And it's going to need to be a good Dragon Strike, and it's coming from behind. Philadelphia Fusion have to split. This is the opportunity that the Hunters have been looking for. Kyo does pop that Transcendence as well. Elsa sends in the self-destruct. Philadelphia Fusion still in the payload. Now the Dragon Strike coming in for EQO. A little bit of damage on Devaltal. He has to back away. EQO down though. Carpe coming back with a kill onto Elsa and onto Among the tanks. Eliminated by Carpe. And he's trying to clutch again. And it looks like he's going to be able to help his team do just that. Oh, Junkertown Long comes back in again.
It's not going to be enough, though.
I don't think so.
Philadelphia definitely going to take B right now, trying desperately to get in there with a wrecking ball.
Yeah, they're just trying to delay as long as they can. We're into overtime now. That was a great shield, actually. Adaptive shield comes in for Amon. And the anti-heal is kind of late there. Elsa takes some damage, and look at this. The respawns starting to emerge for Chengdu Hunters. It would be insane if they could stop it right here. The supercharger out of the way, though. And oh boy, Yveltal down, and now EQO. He's had about enough of this, I think.
I mean,
Or has he?
here's
Among and Junkertown Long down. Or Among and Junkertown Long getting kills, rather. Sato trying to clutch. Again, it's such a brawl. Are you kidding me?
gonna get back. No. Okay.
Point B, finally.
So that was almost disastrous for the Fusion because when Among switched to ball, there were 4 members of Philly alive, but neither Carpe nor EQO was there, so they had no damage. So the adaptive shield was actually enough to drag it out and give Chengdu a fighting chance.
Wow. What a battle it's been on some of these points between these two teams.
Yeah, it's only a minute though,
Carpe.
remaining on this last point.
Carpe's on the Torbjorn right now, by the way. He's dead, but he was on the Torbjorn for a second. I don't know about that.
Torbjorn got some nerfs in this match.
He did. His damage actually got straight up nerfed, I believe.
Yeah, his scatter shot, his right-click damage was reduced. So that's an interesting choice. And now,
So it won't
gonna
get
go back on the McCree.
Torbjorn after all, is what you're saying.
Works as well in Overwatch League as it does in solo queue games.
Carpe recovering from his momentary insanity, apparently. Goes back to the McCree. More useful pick in this situation, apparently. Jinmu with the kill on the Carpe. Good start for the Chengdu defense. Meteor Strike. Taking on Sato. Come on, Slam. Welcome to the jam. And now, just 15 seconds left for Philadelphia Fusion already. They've gone next to nowhere in point C, and Junkertown Long has the EMP waiting for this next push.
This is potentially disastrous. Here comes the EMP. 3 hacks, 4 actually.
4 people got hit by that one. Yeah, that's right. Sato already down. Meanwhile, the other tank taken out as well. There's no more meat to get onto the payload right now, and Philadelphia Fusion are going to get stopped right here. Chengdu Hunters take the lead in the series again.
Really good job by Chengdu, stopping them before they can get to point C, resolving after that poor point A defense to improve themselves, get ready for that point B and point C hold.
And Philadelphia Fusion put themselves in yet another position to go to a map 5. We'll see if they can make it happen when we get back.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile, now connecting 99% of Overwatch League fans. Catch your league on America's network, T-Mobile.
No one can hide from my sight.
time.
The Vancouver Titans, stage 1 champions.
The Shock have done it! Stage 2 champions!
Make some noise for the current holders of the California Cup.
Yeah, that's right. The Kit Kat rivalry weekend coming at you in just a few weeks. You can get your tickets now at lavaliant.com/tickets to get those tickets.
Can the LA Valiant pick a logo, please? Like,
Nah.
how many logos do they have? Which one is the official one anymore? I don't know.
They see a new logo and they're like, break me off a piece of that logo. Yes.
Just pick one, LA Valiant. Like you're out there changing your colors. You're out there changing your logos.
You know, for the
I'm
record,
tired of your shenanigans.
For the record, I've always loved Kit Kats. I just want to say this on broadcast right now. Ever since I was a kid, one of my favorite candy bars.
I've never seen you eat one.
I am very excited about this weekend. Yeah, well, you know what? You don't see me eat a lot of things.
Thankfully.
Do you even know what I had for lunch yesterday?
No.
I had
Kit
kimchi,
Kats?
I had kimchi bokkeumbap, and it was delicious. Kimchi fried rice. I made it myself.
It wasn't.
Amazing.
It wasn't a Kit Kat.
It
though.
was not a Kit Kat, but I thought about Kit Kats while I was eating. Either way, Kit Kat rivalry weekend coming at you soon. Go get tickets. Junkertown is our next map. As we have not yet seen who will win this series. Philadelphia Fusion with a chance to send us to another map 5. They did it yesterday, couldn't get the win. If they do it today, we'll see if they can get the win. Chengdu Hunters, though, with a win on Junkertown, we'll be able to take this. And you know what? Hunters are 0-3 on this map for the season.
Fusion won on Junkertown yesterday with their pirate ship shenanigan.
They did, and it looks like they're going to bring it out again here, perhaps. They've got the Orisa, they've got the Reinhardt in spawn. EQ on the Pharah maybe this time, though.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so either, man. That's kind of like the albatross above the ship, I think, in this particular composition.
I mean, if
Are you ready, kids?
If he was the albatross, then theoretically he should want the Chengdu Hunters to shoot him, because what happens when you shoot an albatross is not good things to you.
Well, that's the thing.
Have you even read Rime of the Ancient
I'm
Mariner?
just talking about it being an albatross because it would be a negative thing for their pirate ship.
Alive albatrosses are fine.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just don't shoot the albatross.
Oh, okay. I thought just all albatrosses
No.
were bad. Well, it is a pirate ship. We've set sail with the double shield composition.
Do you even Coleridge, Noah?
I don't Coleridge.
I know you don't.
I know what that means. Break me off a piece of that Rime of the Ancient Mariner, though. Yang Long with the early kill on the EQO, actually. And coming in from behind with the flank. He's coming at them from the aft.
You do actually have to stop the cart at a certain point in time, Chengdu Hunters. You can't just stand here and shoot at it while it moves.
They do know that, but instead they put an ice wall on it. All right. Among appears magically and then disappears just as fast. Jinmu in a lot of trouble too. Ice block comes out again. They get the res onto Among somehow right in the faces of the Philadelphia Fusion boombox. But the kill to Jinmu, and nobody has been able to dislodge Carpe. And they roll right through. They sail right through to port very quickly.
No one has ever stopped pirates just by looking at them, though.
No.
Consider yourself
Back. That's usually what the pirates prefer, you know? Because they're like, well, now we're going to come at you and take your booty.
Well, they already have the booty. They're just going to escape with
That's
it.
true. They're trying to escape with the booty. They've got enough. No more booty.
Personne n'échappe à mon regard.
I don't even understand what you're saying, Widowmaker.
No one will escape from my sight.
Oh, okay. Did you learn that at horse golf school? Bet you did. Philadelphia Fusion pushing forward now, and Boombox loses the Immortality Field. Maywall blocks off some of the Mercy healing. Boombox still getting some of that though, and there's the headshot Yang Jialong's been looking for. Carpe down as well, so finally, the ship has been sunk. And I think we're gonna need to see Philly make some changes. They've got some ultimates available though, so they might try to come back in onto this one.
It's weird to me that Philly just stayed on the payload. Because typically on that point, you try and rotate to the high ground.
Well, that's what they did yesterday too, so it's especially weird.
I'm not sure what to read into that about Philadelphia Fusion. That was definitely not a normal way to play Junkertown B.
That's strange.
And now they have to switch off their composition.
Yeah.
Still have that Blizzard though.
Maybe they just felt that they didn't have time enough to set up in that forward position. I mean, I don't think they may have, after all. All right. The wall Comes up from Jin. Meanwhile, it is going to be the supercharger. Boombox drops the Amp Matrix, actually. Pull some people out from behind that. Philadelphia Fusion manages to pull Ace. Yeah, that was a halt into a hook. Long range pull onto Elsa, but he flies away. Meanwhile, the Blizzard goes down. And Keo, that's right. Immortality Field keeping him alive for the moment anyway. Veltal comes in for the rest at the end. Elsa gets Boombox with the self-destruct, and suddenly Philadelphia Fusion having a really hard time pushing this payload.
Another team kill for the Chengdu Hunters. Heard that gong in their favor quite a few times. Now Philly wants to move to double sniper.
Yeah.
They're off the Mei at the moment. Chengdu will have Jinmu on the Mei now. Shot coming in on Sato right off the bat. And there is a ice wall there, blocking him off. Nice approach.
Q has a transcendence, so Philly gets aggressive. They're going to be able to weather the storm, perhaps. Supercharger used by Sato. They just want to get back onto the payload, but Among's down there on the Orisa, just kind of blocking. Kyo rolls in with the transcendence as they get aggressive. They try to block some people off with the Mei wall now. Sato taking a lot of damage. EQO just trying to do what he can. Can't quite get the kill to Jinmu, and Sato down. Carpe gets a 1v1 onto Young Long. Nice Mei wall to block EQO off from the rest of his team.
Resurrections on both sides right now as Sato gonna retake his point on the payload. Supercharger comes out, but not before Young Long falls to EQO.
Yeah, that's right, but still, the zoning comes in from the D.Va ultimate, and Philadelphia Fusion just now finally starting to get the payload moving again. That was a long delay from Hunters. Under 2 minutes remaining for Philly to take point B.
It's shocking that they still have 2 minutes, actually. That's how fast their point A was.
Yeah, well, I mean, they were just completely unopposed on point A, so they kind of rolled in there with as much time as you could possibly have.
All right, now Young Long going to come over with the Infrasight up, hoping to have one final defense. Another nano boost onto EQO.
Yeah, looking for kills out of that Hanzo again. Oh, Kyo gets caught by Poco's self-destruct. Here comes the Dragon Strike right through the middle, and Yveltal can't get away. Among took a lot of damage as well. That is 2 kills from EQO now, and Young Long, though, trying to equalize, but I don't know if he can stop them from getting to the end of point B. I don't think so. Everybody's falling eventually. Among lasting as long as he possibly can on that payload, but that's going to be about it. Unless Among can hang there a little bit longer. EQO finally does go down. Elsa gets back into the mech amazingly. And now with Yveltal back, maybe they can do it. Sato's gonna get taken out here. Oh no, it's the Mercy ultimate from Neptuno, and he keeps them alive. Just in time, that one came in. And Carpe finally gets the cleanup.
These stalls have been scary for the Chengdu Hunters. Couple of these in this match so far gone just a little bit more in Chengdu's favor.
It really seems like you can't count the Hunters out of any fights in this series so far. They've either come back and won fights you never expect a team to win, or come very close like we just saw.
Here we go again. Among now back over to the Orisa. Lots of resources used by Philadelphia. No support ults available to them.
Well, the scary thing for them, too, is they only have about 1:40 left in the time bank. Carpe going through that flank again, though. Kyo forced to use the Transcendence. Young Long can't escape the self-destruct, though. Carpe trying to do a little bit more damage here as he circles back behind the payload. The res comes in for the Widowmaker on the Chengdu side. Carpe just sitting on the payload. He's the cannon now. Well, he was the cannon before, too, but now he's a different kind of cannon.
He's been recanified.
That's right. Oh, Elsa bringing it to Carpe and Neptuno. That's a big self-destruct, and that means it's going to be under a minute remaining when Philadelphia Fusion get their next attack going. It's do or die for the Fusion now on point C.
Yeah, Poco, last one standing. Just a little bullying on the Pilot D.Va. I said Pirate D.Va.
Pirate D.Va, I know. I got to thinking Pirates now.
The Pirates on the brain.
That's good. I like it. Let's see that self-destruct from Elsa.
Yeah, it's a halt.
Yeah, great halt. That's right. Well, Philadelphia Fusion. Basically one more attack. And if this one fails, if there's any kind of staggering, they're not going to get another chance. It really is now or never. And oh, they lose Carpe early. Yang Long has been going toe-to-toe with him in the Widow v Widow all time. Exit players on it. I don't know. EQO
Holding on
comes
the
back in.
res.
Here's the nano boost though. On the EQO as well. That's right. Carpe's back and Yang Jialong is down. EQO coming in with 2 kills already. Single-handedly punching the Philadelphia Fusion through to their payload again.
They nano boosted EQO again, which provided cover for the res, and they got the kills from EQO.
He's been so clutch on this Hanzo today. Sends the Dragon Strike through the back lines. Keo has to use that Transcendence to get back to his team. Here we go, another Dragon Strike coming in. This one from Jinmu now. We're deep into overtime, and Poco and EQO are down, so Hunters forced back, but they might be winning this defensive fight. Looks like they will with the tanks out of the way. Philadelphia Fusion with really nobody significant left to try to hold this payload and push it through to the end. Despite the heroics from EQO, that's where the payload will stop for Philadelphia Fusion.
So they get it pretty far through Junkertown, but this is it for Philadelphia, and it would be pretty bad for them to start 0-2 here in Stage 4. We've talked about them in London as sort of a return to the meta they were both dominant in at the end of last season. Obviously, it's not exactly the same, but many of the heroes are still relevant. Many of those combos, like we saw from London earlier today, are still relevant. And for the most part, these are the same rosters.
Yeah.
So it's tough, I think, for Philly. If they're in this playoff hunt and they're serious about a run, going down 0-2 when everyone was expecting them to be much improved on this patch would be a very poor showing.
And we're seeing kind of the same thing we saw yesterday, where there's a lot of impressive moments from Carpe and EQO, but the DPS on the other team are just coming up a little bit more clutch. It's close. It was close yesterday, it's been close today. But once again, it just seems like Carpe and EQO are falling the least little bit short.
I like their strategy of the nano boost onto EQO. He's been able to make some huge plays today.
It's been delivering, but again, despite all the great plays, it just seems like it's not getting him there.
It seems like it's just like a little bit too risky. That they're not. They're trying to. Yeah, they're trying to be a little bit too aggressive at times and putting just a little bit too much risk into things.
Yeah. Although I will say, on that same front, Carpe has been playing a little bit closer to his team today. I think he solved that issue that we saw yesterday.
Definitely a bit better. Keo's still on this Zenyatta. That's really interesting to me because I think it made sense earlier today when we saw Bedosen playing the Zen, and it looked like it was to provide barrier pressure, and it looked like that it was there as a potential Sombra counter with Transcendence. But in this scenario, like, I think it's super risky.
And if he can make it work, he can make it work. I mean, you do have the Discord Orb, which is always really nice against the tanks. You know there's only going to be 2 tanks. It's pretty handy. Nice save by Elsa there, keeping his DPS alive, and he manages to, not quite escape. Lost the mech anyway. There goes Jinmu as well. Good start for the defense on Philly's side.
You're going to resurrect here, but I'm not sure that's actually going to be worth it.
I don't think so. He's not even going to get back in. Mecha not active, actually. Hello. Ooh, brutal. That horse is glue now.
Robot glue.
Robo glue. You can't really make glue out of Orisa, I guess, can you?
Yeah, I mean, probably not. I don't really know what Orisa's made out of.
You know, high-tech space metal and stuff. I don't know. Jinmu down again. They're going to get the resurrection on him. But that's a cooldown that Hunters are going to need to play around now.
Hunters really need to decide what they're doing because right now, Widow's on one flank, Carpe's on one flank, and Poco's on the other.
Elsa trying to be the assassin again, but he's just going to end up losing his mech, I think. Neptuno down, though. Jinmu with a big pick there. Ooh, Jinmu getting aggressive here. Elsa loses the mech, but Jinmu gets the kill on the Carpe in the end. Turns around and throws out that Dragon Strike. Boombox and Sato down as well, and Chengdu Hunters finally pushing ahead here. Jinmu just decided to go up there and kill everybody, I guess.
He had the Mercy with him also, so Eviltal heading up there, pursuing Elsa.
Yeah.
And clearing out that high ground, and then creating a crossfire with the Dragon Strike to isolate Sato.
Putting that Pokemon to good work. Use.
Is that Eviltal? He's up there.
That's right.
On the high ground.
He was chosen.
I don't even know which Pokemon Yveltal is. I never played a Pokemon game except for Red and Blue.
Really?
No, just Red, actually.
Wow. All right.
And Pokemon Snap, truly the best Pokemon
Oh, yes.
game.
I gotta get those pictures. Chengdu Hunters make it through point A. And can they keep pushing? A-Monk taking a shot. Philadelphia Fusion with all 6 ultimates. And Sato down right after Neptuno. Pops his. A-Monk gets a kill into Poco as well. Both tanks down with that one. The EQ uses the Blizzard, but do they have the follow-up? I don't know. They get the res onto Sato because of it. And a nano boost now onto EQO again. Doesn't matter what hero he's playing. That said, though, they aren't able to really make any progress defensively.
Transcendences really aren't doing much. I'm really unclear about this Zenyatta, but they're still pushing forward, Noah.
It kind of kept them in that fight that time. Helped them weather the Blizzard Storm, but Kyo does end up going down to the right click in the end. Elsa comes in with the 2K. What? Just surprised them, I guess, with that ultimate. Jinmu not so lucky. Carpe gets that one. Poco with the kill on the A-Monk. Yeah, Yang Long firing it back. There's so many kills on both sides.
It's only 3 versus 3 right now.
Yep.
Oh, not anymore.
Oh, wow. Better. You should have stayed in the ice block. Should have stayed in there, man. It would have been safer.
Nice,
oh,
touch.
Look. Ooh.
It's been a never-ending action. Not a boring moment.
Sure has.
The Fusion and the Hunters.
Yeah. It's been an absolute mosh pit here between these two teams. I love it. Sometimes a long-range mosh pit.
What's a long-range mosh pit?
Mosh pit with, like, sniper rifles and stuff, you know?
I see. I've never been in one of those before.
I wouldn't want to be in one of those. Chengdu and Philadelphia are in one right now, though. It's entertaining. Oh, how's the battle? Oh. He's gonna find it. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, Carpe gets a kill on Youngjo Long. That would be Widow ended in Philadelphia's favor. I guess both Hanzo's disengaged at the end of that fight.
It was an inconclusive Hanzo war.
Never mind. EQO, he won that one. Congratulations.
He's gonna get rezzed.
Yep. Jinmu does get rezzed. Carpe frantic for more kills.
Heroes never die.
Can they get this res question? Dragon Strike going to be put out just to make sure that EQO is not revived.
Carpe, he almost grappled right into the Dragon Strike. Yikes. Neptuno pops a Mercy ultimate. Comes back down again. Neptuno going for the kills. Gonna get killed. Neptuno did get one on Youngjo Long, though. Uppercut the Cowboy. And there's the supercharger from Sato. 3 kills for Philly as they manage to turn the fight around. Defensive win for them, and man, it just doesn't get much closer. These fights have been so back and forth the entire time, and now it's under a minute for Chengdu. I think we might very well see Philly send us to another map 5.
I think you're right, Doa. This is going to be really close. Chengdu really only has ults to make space right now, though Elsa has been pretty good at picking up multi-kills on the self-destruct so far today.
Weirdly good at getting kills, not just with the self-destruct, but just by flying in and wrecking people too.
They're gonna try and dodge this Dragon Strike right now.
Yep.
Thrown out preemptively. Nobody isolated by that. Chengdu gets a little more time to build up a Deadeye. Some pressure on these barriers.
Oh, No Long was ready. EQO. Ooh, that's dangerous. Hey, he knew one more headshot would do it. Meanwhile, Poco, a lot of damage on him. EQO gets a kill on Youngjo Long, and there goes Jinmu as well. Chengdu suffering. Carpe with the kill on Yveltal. It looks like we will probably go to another map 5 here. Only the tanks and Kyo remain on the payload right now, and Kyo's down. It's just the tanks.
Carpe again gets the elimination. Youngjo Long was trying to kill Neptuno. It's a desperation Doomfist.
Hello. Want to come by the payload? All right, come over to the payload. And I guess we are going to another map 5. That's right, Philly wins Junkertown for the 2nd day in a row, sends us to the 5th map for the 2nd day in a row, but can they get the win this time?
Philly fans loving those heart attacks.
I guess so.
But their streak was broken. Perfect 4-0 on the season before yesterday. And now they have to face a Chengdu Hunters that convincingly beat them on control.
And Poco looks like he maybe wanted to keep that mustache. We'll see if it makes a difference when we come back.
Just what they needed.
All systems checked out. 60 seconds. Cease your resistance. Helden sterben nicht.
Pass into the iris.
Cease your resistance.
Here we go again, ladies and gentlemen. Map 5 from the Philadelphia Fusion match, this time against the Chengdu Hunters. They weren't able to quite get the job done yesterday, but today, maybe they can get back on track. They had won four map 5s in a row before yesterday. The streak was broken. They're 4-1 now. Can they make it 5-1 against the Hunters?
Yeah, and as a correction from earlier, it will be Ilios as our 5th map, not Lijiang Tower. I got trolled by the Overwatch League website, so you might have been too, but it's actually Ilios.
Oh well, I'm sure they'll get it fixed soon. Meanwhile, on the Hunter side of things, it's really tough to call this one because, you know, as we've watched these maps, the fights have pretty much every time been so back and forth, so close between these two teams that it really is impossible to predict right now who's going to take this one. What do you think?
Like you said,
Make a prediction.
I think it's tough. We're not going to see any substitutions either. So Bacon Jack, who had a pretty outstanding performance on Widowmaker on Busan, not going to be in. But this is a point where if Yang Xiaolong is confident on that McCree, as we're seeing right now, see a lot of McCree on, well, at least we did last stage. It's been less prevalent here this stage. Philadelphia Fusion.
A lot of McCree from both teams today, actually.
Yeah, and Philly, they wanted to play, you know, we saw them play this yesterday in their 5th map, and they went for that Reaper. It's not going to be Reaper now. So
back on the Jinmu Doomfist again. I like it. And this time we've got Neptuno on the Brigida. Interesting. You've got those close quarters fighting on Lighthouse, so it could work.
I think this is smart. If you're the Philadelphia Fusion, you're basically tripling up on CC if you count the Sleep Guard as well as the Shield Bash and the Flashbang, because you're so afraid of Jinmu. Jinmu kind of wrecked you. So it's a really good adaptation from the Fusion, likely a result of their coaching staff. And now we'll see if Chengdu is going to have a harder time engaging. That's a big pile drive on the high ground.
Maywaldo comes in, blocks a little bit of damage, and it blocks enough. Jinmu coming in. Ooh, gets two though. The right hook, the left hook. Neptuno and EQO fall. And Chengdu Hunters looks like they're going to be able to flip this point back almost immediately.
Can they actually survive this though? Oh, they're actually going to get a couple of kills with Carpe and Poco teaming up. So they give up the point. But the late kill's going in Philadelphia's advantage, so now they're gonna have to jet out from spawn here. Eveltal on the Lucio, and Jinmu not back yet.
Well, he's almost there on the Doomfist. He's getting back right about now. So it looks like everyone's going to reach the point just in time here. A little bit of damage on EQO. Ooh, yes, Ice Block. And that's a cooldown that he's going to need for that next fight.
Oh, he's so close to getting Jinmu, and they are going to get Eviltal.
Yeah, that's right. Carpe with a big pick to start things off again. Gets hit with the flashbang, though. Ooh, flashbang, as he knows Yangjolong's coming around the corner. Jinmu, meanwhile, getting 2 kills.
Oh my.
Yangjolong gets another one. That's another meteor strike for Jinmu already. His Doomfist is insane. And they're gonna hold on to this point.
It's kind of crazy that he's able to dodge through the shield bashes. Actually, it's really his team that's going in first. It's Among who's absorbing most of the crowd control, and then Jinmu's coming in like a second or two later and just mopping up these fights.
That's right.
But Chengdu Hunters right now on about 4 ult charge. We'll see what the Philadelphia Fusion do with Nano Boost. Might go into EQ again. We've seen a lot of teams Nano boosting the Mei.
Could be. Long flank from Yangjolong. Kind of sitting back behind the team right now. Pad in the bushes. In the tumbleweeds. Here we go. Ooh, gets one on Sato. Just pops over the wall and
teammates are like,
him off.
Don't worry about it, Yangjolong. We'll just win this 5 versus 6. You don't need to be there.
It's like, I'm sorry, I got distracted by the beautiful plants. Neptuno down, Yveltal. With the finishing boot there.
You see the swaps coming in from Fusion because they just have to get to the point. I mean, this is a disaster. They have a nano boost to go on Sato. That's it.
Yeah, can anyone even get there?
I mean, there's a
it's
trance.
Be the Winston.
I mean, the Winston can't kill anybody through the trance.
He's got to make it. He jumps in. He's got the nano boost as well. Jinmu down. They're trying to turn it around. Yangjolong, oh, nice kill on the boombox. Rolls in there with the right click. Waiting for those cooldowns, and EQO takes him out. Yangjolong not able to hit those shots, and Philadelphia might be able to flip it back at the very end. Absolute insanity. This series, I don't know. These fights, man.
That was a pretty big misplay from Chengdu Hunters. So Jinmu was off on his own, and Eviltal could not hit him before he died with the sound barrier. So they used a support ultimate that after they were already effectively in a 5 versus 6. And when they came in Philadelphia, they actually managed to siphon some of the people out of the Transcendence.
Yeah.
And then eliminate them. So good heads up play by EQ on Carpe using that mobility, but
Translocates out just in time. Sato there to help out. Meanwhile, the Hunters trying to backcap here. Jinmu down though. It's a 5v6. They're gonna have to be a little bit more cautious coming into this one.
Backing out once again.
Yeah.
Chengdu trying to be patient here, knowing that they have a little bit of time to work with, but there's an EMP for the Fusion and a sound barrier. Optimistically, there's 2 fights left, and Chengdu somehow has to maneuver around those abilities. Philadelphia with a new lease on life.
Yep. All right, Minefield from Among doing a little bit of damage, and now the EMP comes in from Ikua. They got the sound barrier from Neptuno, but he's gonna go down. Among though falls off the edge somehow, some way, and Elsa D-Mech. So it doesn't look like Philly's gonna give this up anytime soon unless Jinmu can keep the kills coming. Gonna give that one up though. They've got one more fight, Chengdu.
So what that did do for Chengdu though was they got the EMP and they got the sound barrier. Those are the most important ultimates on the side of the Fusion. So now Chengdu not gonna have to play into that. They themselves, however, are gonna switch to Sombra.
Yep.
Oh no.
Yeah, but do you even have time to build another EMP? Oh, Among down. That's a big kill for Philadelphia Fusion. Jinmu hack taken out. Looks like this point is certainly going Philly's way right now. Yveltal knocked off the map as well. There's just nothing more you can do. Carpe having time to wave. Coalescence comes out, and Chengdu Hunters are gonna have to try to tie it up in the next round. Among's not gonna get the 1v6. I don't care how good he is.
Meteor strike just to get to the point.
Yeah, there's a little bit of damage there too.
Well, they got the Coalescence to keep Jinmu up. Not enough,
not quite.
though.
Yeah, that's right. Yveltal just trying to come through and get any sort of environmental kills he can. He can't quite do it. And they can always keep the pushes longer than you thought they would, but that will be Philadelphia Fusion taking the first point here on Ilios.
That was a crazy comeback from the Philadelphia Fusion.
Yeah.
They went for the Hail Mary, switching to the late Tracer and Sombra, and with that mobility, EQO and Carpe dive into that back line away from the Transcendence, pick up the kills, and then they turn that into an EMP to win the next fight. Super well done by Philly.
Yeah, and that's the kind of clutch thing that we need to see them do if they're gonna have a better result than they did yesterday. They're so close. One round and they could take the series, avoid going 2-2 in week 1 of stage 4. As you can see, we've come to the well. for our second round here on Ilios.
They're expecting the Pharah, I think, on Philly's side. Nope. Okay, they're not.
Maybe.
Gonna make a change now. They've decided this flanking composition was working pretty well for them, and they've got the hack to deal with Jinmu. They're gonna try and close that distance dive composition from Philadelphia. Chengdu playing a little bit more defensively here.
Right.
See if they can hit a flashbang.
Pound comes in from Among, taking a lot of damage, though, has to use those adaptive shields. Carpe trying to flank, chasing down Jinmu.
It's gonna be hard for Chengdu. They don't have a lot of healing between the Lucio and the Zen.
Yeah, true. Carpe taking a lot of damage, has to recall back. Jinmu under threat, though, fighting over the health pack in this room right now. Carpe gets it. And Chengdu able to barely take the point. He does. Chengdu Hunters with a kill onto Carpe do get the control percent going first. Ooh, Kyo down though, and it's gonna be the coalescence from Boombox as Philly tries to come back in right away to turn this around. Lucio dueling with Doomfist, and Doomfist, Jinmu has to exit, grab that health back, and come back in again. Oh, into the wall goes Sato, and that's enough damage to get Jinmu the kill. Making the plays, but Yang Zhaolong is down as well. Meteor strike time. Right back down.
Oh, they don't
onto
actually
Lucio.
get the eliminations. They gotta get rid of this pilot diva, but they just can't do it. Poco's gonna get back into the mech.
I would have thought he would have gotten enough damage with that meteor strike, but not quite. Hunters haven't given over the point just yet, but they will soon. It seems like Elsa getting knocked into the well, and nobody else really seemingly able to get any progress going for the Hunters. They're actually going to dedicate the sound barrier to this. That blows my mind. I know they've been clutch at times, but that's crazy. 50% taken, but Philadelphia are going to finally flip the point.
I mean, for the Hunters, though, they got significant value out of that because they forced the sound barrier on the other side, and the EMP had to be used from the Philadelphia Fusion. So because they kept getting percent, and they traded evenly on the support ults, it's not necessarily the end of the world for Chengdu.
Yeah. Already the pressure coming in from the Hunters again. Elsa gets hacked, though. Well, Jinmu, you can see him up on the building in the background, waiting for a chance to jump in, cause some chaos. Zato has a primal rage, though. That's going to be a crucial tool in defending, gets booped away, but now he's going into those narrow corridors. Jinmu tries to go through the rocket punch, and Zato has to flee. He's been keeping them away, though.
Down the reback, that's huge.
Yeah, that is nice. Not letting Elsa get back into the Diva suit again. Everyone?
Yang Zhaolong also really didn't get a lot of ult charge there compared to EQO. So EQO maybe getting another EMP really fast here. And that'll extend Philadelphia's lead.
Yang Zhaolong on the Sombra now as well. They're really believing in this Doomfist. Oh, EQO gets a kill on the Among though, and Chengdu Hunters, it almost feels like they're starting to fall apart a little bit here.
Sure looks like it. Philadelphia coming out much stronger here on Ilios.
Oh yeah. I mean, you can just feel the determination in Philly Fusion right now. They are not going to lose 2 map 5s in 2 days.
Still trying to mop up, but Philly out of gas when it comes to those ultimates. Probably not going to have a coalescence. And if you look, the EMP, the crucial one up for Chengdu. This is their one chance to turn it around and keep this series alive.
EMP use only hits Boombox. He only got 1.
And Boombox just isn't dying.
That's crazy.
Finally goes down.
And now he does, yeah. Carpe goes for the pulse pop, but no kills out of that one. Yang Zhaolong with another kill on that Sombra. Chengdu Hunters in overtime are going to flip the point.
And here's the issue they're facing right now, Doa. They use the minefield, they use the EMP and the meteor strike. Philly is going to have 2 support ults and another EMP. Philly should have this one in the bag. Yang Zhaolong so far away from another Sombra ult of his own.
You would think so, but then you look at like the Doomfist, you look at the Lucio, you see heroes that can make plays like that one. Yang Zhaolong down, but Jinmu getting the support kill. Oh, right on the Boombox, wrong place, wrong time, and he had just popped his coalescence. Just used that ultimate.
EQO still. EMP almost there for him now. Complete. So can Eviltal and Kyo cancel out this EMP by using a coalescence or a sound barrier? That's what we're going to be looking for.
90% for the Hunters. Elsa gets another one on Sato. We couldn't get back out of the line of fire. Jinmu down though. Neptuno, big headshot there. 99-99. And Philadelphia with the edge in this fight. If they can flip it back, they can win the series. They're so close. Pulse Bomb comes in. No kills from Carpe. But Among drops anyway. They flip it. Now it's on to Hunters to try to get the reverse, but they don't have enough people to do it. Jinmu needs an insane hero play right here. Gets one on Neptuno, but he needs a lot more. Kyo down, the Primal Rage activated by Sato. There's the hack, now a 4-man EMP from Young Jalong. Much better than the last time. Oh, and Jinmu gets 2 with the Meteor Strike. Hunters turning it around again. They need to retake the point, and they need to get overtime to take away. But I think they may have done it. What a crazy series. They retake the point, and it's just EQO contesting right now. They're gonna kill him quickly. Overtime ticking away, and now Philly getting back onto it again. Another EMP coming in, but it only hits Yveltal. EQO down, and Hunters have the edge in what could be the final fight on this round. Philadelphia Fusion, they've got the coalescence from Boombox, but Jinmu comes in, trying to knock people into the well. He can't do it, and Carpe gets that kill anyway. Overtime still continuing. It is so close. Philly can't step off the point right now. Carpe gets 1, but is that it? Elsa doesn't go down to the Pulse Bomb, so it's not enough damage here. EQO on the Doomfist now.
But Carpe stopped Yveltal in his sound barrier animation, Noah, so that might be it.
It's crazy. Sato down as well, and I think Hunters may have finally secured it. Philly just clinging to life here on Well, but I don't know if they can quite turn it around. They've tried. It's been a long fight. Poco gets 1, and I can't believe this fight is still going. It's crazy. Ooh, we nearly went down the well. That was so scary. Sato still there. Boombox finally drops as well, and Chengdu Hunters, they secure it. I'm gonna pass out, but I hope I make it one more round before I do. What a crazy fight. We are going to the 3rd round here on Ilios.
I love to see those swaps and both teams playing out of their minds to just hold on to this final game.
I love this meta.
It's been wild. Here's Jinmu at the end. He got the critical double kill on the Meteor Strike that shut this down. Now look at this. He gets Carpe and Boombox. Prevents Boombox from building up the rest of that coalescence, shuts down most of their healing. And then he comes around with a rocket punch for Poco as well. That is the most clutch play out of all the clutch plays that we just saw happen. That was the most important one.
I've never seen so many extremely close back and forth fights in one series as I have in this one tonight.
Carpe's back on the Reaper. He played Reaper on Ruins yesterday.
He did. Didn't work out for him either. See if he can get a bit more success here.
Jinmu with the Sombra now.
Yeah.
Really want that EMP. And Philadelphia, yeah, gonna have a bit of a trouble, I think, trying to close distance here. Young Xiaolong, yeah, they're right now Philadelphia all split up trying to chase down this wrecking ball.
Poco hack, but it's not that big of a deal.
Yeah, they're gonna give up the point though.
Yep. Oh, knocked around by Among a little bit. Kills on both sides here. Makio, the crucial fall. Sato gets 2 actually. I'm doing a little bit of trouble here as Philadelphia Fusion continues to build this early control percent. That said, they're kind of bottled up, the damage coming in. But Yveltal's not going to be able to do much of it. Carpe gets a kill there, and so Philadelphia Fusion, good start on their hold here on Ruins.
Yeah, Philadelphia, they forced the retake attempt from the Hunters. Now, Hunters have traditionally been very good, not at Ilios, but at this point on Ilios. Because of, ooh, that's a late stagger.
Yeah.
Because of Among and their ability to control choke points with the Wrecking Ball minefield.
So Philadelphia has basically already guaranteed themselves 50% here. Even if the fight comes in and goes Hunter's way, they're going to be over halfway there. Jinmu has the EMP, so they've got the tool that they need to win this fight. Only 2 people with that one, though. Poco did get slept, though. So it is 3 people effectively out of the fight. There's EQO dead now. Rocket punch goes through. That's a lot of damage. Oh, but he can't get the kill. He gets taken out instead. Sato with 1. But the rest of the Hunters will not be denied. The tanks finally ground down into the ground. And Hunters will finally flip it, but it's going to be 66% for Philly already.
And you can see Chengdu repositioning. They love playing on top of this forward temple here with the Wrecking Ball. Controlling the choke point with the pile driver is huge for them.
Yep. Philly should know. Should know that they're there.
Yeah, this is the way Chengdu always plays Ruins.
Absolutely. Nice move. Has to back away. We avoided the hook too. Neptuno down. Jinmu with an early kill on that Sombra. They've got Philadelphia flipped up, and they actually managed to draw the boombox, or the ultimate rather, from Poco out of there. There goes Sato. Young Chalan with 2 rocket punch kills right there. Poco tried to use his whole hog to break up the attack from Hunters, but all it ended up doing was wasting that ultimate.
Also, living long enough to give a lot of ult charge over.
Yep.
Among with another minefield right now. He's so dangerous in these corridors going to the point with the minefield. Jinmu has another EMP. Chengdu looks like they're going to at least equalize in terms of percent here.
Sato swaps over to the Winston now. Philadelphia knows they need to do something different. There's a minefield coming in. It's going to be the sound barrier from Neptuno way before they even get to the point, and Hunters can just kind of watch the block pass and watch that shield expire. It's going to get taken off. Here goes Young Jalong, Meteor Strike coming in onto Carpe. Nice rocket punch, gets him against the pillar. Sato there for the revenge, but the damage has been done.
There's no damage to fall up on that EMP.
Not really.
Finally, okay.
I mean, Elsa does things that Divas should not be able to do.
Finally, they were able to come back and clean up the rest of that fight. Scattered EMP, but it's not mattering because right now Chengdu on the cusp of winning this match.
Yeah, 80%, and Philadelphia Fusion on the cusp of losing their second map 5 in a row.
Chengdu is so good at ruins. They've always been strong this season on this point, and they're showing why now.
It is a bit of a nightmare scenario for Philly, having to face a team on their strongest point on perhaps any map. EQO's EMP is going to need to be the difference maker. 99%, overtime ticking away.
Sound barrier
for Boombox already, but they lose EQO. EQO dies as he uses his hack, and it's not going to do anything to the Chengdu Hunters. There goes Poco's mech, and I don't think Philly's got it. I don't think they've got what it takes. I think Chengdu does. And I think Jinmu's EMP could seal the deal if Philly wants to even dare approach the point. The Chengdu Hunters, their insanity wins the day. Another map 5. And Philadelphia with a rough start here in stage 4. Chengdu takes it.
Ooh, relief on the faces of the Chengdu Hunters. That was so close in the end, especially when they had to give up that point early. But the retake was good off of the EMP. And then if you look at how they play that map, it is very hard to play Chengdu because Among is excellent at wrecking ball on that point. And as a team, they play those corridors so very well.
Yeah, that's right. And remember, this is crucial. Chengdu Hunters still in the hunt, as it were, for that play-in at the end of stage 4 to try to make it to the playoffs. Try to get one of those last spots. And a win like this certainly does help. Pretty amazing stuff, and a heartbreaker for Philly as well. 2 map 5s in a row, that's a rough one. Meanwhile, let's see what Among has to say. He's standing by with Emily.
Hey guys, thank you so much. Congratulations to the Hunters for taking down their first win this stage. Now, Among, how has the roll lock affected your wrecking ball with less support? 首先，恭喜你们拿下了第4阶段第1场比赛。那么这个222阵容怎么影响到了破坏球呢？
我觉得222阵容对破坏球来说就是一个加强嘛，因为303其实很克制破坏球的发挥的，就在222里，目前就破坏球的作用比新大很多，所以对破坏球是一个好事情。
I believe the roll lock is a huge improvement for Wrecking Ball because with GOATs, it repressed a lot of Wrecking Ball's abilities, so this is a huge plus. 那么 the Hunters are still fighting for end of season playoffs. Now, Among, what do you think the team has to do to get there? 那我知道你们这个赛季的目标还是要进季后赛嘛。那你觉得队伍都要提高哪些方面才能达到这个目标呢？
因为锁222之后很依靠团队配合，还有 C 位的个人能力，这是我们需要加强的地方。
团队还有谁的能力？
团队配合还有 C 位的个人能力，就 DPS 的个人能力。
Well, I think with the new roll lock, a lot of it just comes from the team's chemistry, and also with, I guess, I think the best way to translate it is also how the DPS players kind of come together and strategically. You know, I'm having a lot of trouble with this. But basically what Among is saying, it just takes a lot of coordination with all the DPS players, and the Hunters will get it. And finally, I also know that you guys went to a water park during your break, so how was it? Tell us all about it. Now, 最后呢，你们放假不是去了一个水上乐园吗？那怎么样？跟我们讲一讲。
我比较怕水，所以我没怎么玩。
I'm a little afraid of water, so I didn't really get to enjoy it. All right, well, thank you so much, Among. 谢谢. Back to you, casters, Matiendoa.
Well, thanks, Emily. Disappointing news for Among and the water park experience, I guess. But hey, pretty positive experience here today.
All I'm going to say is if you've experienced water in Overwatch, you'd be afraid of water too.
I can't blame him. Yeah, you're not wrong. Well, with that win, Hunters actually jump into 10th place, so they are in, for now anyway, in that playoff play-in at the end of Stage 4, where we get a chance to see who can take those last couple stops, or spots rather, in the season playoffs. So if they can hold on to it, they've got a chance yet, but that map differential is going to be tough to overcome. They didn't really make any progress on that today, at least.
And Fusion, they're dropping down to 9th place, and they're, in spite of having a winning match record, they have a negative map differential. With, as this sort of plays out, the deeper we get, and if we look at teams like the Reign and the Valiant, that if they're able to string some wins together right here, they could potentially have the chance to surpass the Fusion.
Sure enough. So let's take a look at our player of the match, brought to you by Omen by HP. It's going to be the Moo, the Jin Moo. That's right. Bringing the Doomfist, bringing a lot of heroes today, actually. Oh, hey, Doomfist doesn't use the finger guns. He uses the punch.
I mean, he uses the knuckle guns, I guess.
Knuckle guns, that's true.
Would be it. I think this was hard because Elsa also had a very good day today, but Jin Moo's performance across a wide variety of heroes coming out, as you see with the Genji and the Pharah, in addition to the Doomfist, pretty impressive, even playing the Sombra at times as well.
It was one of those matches, really, where there were so many clutch plays by so many different players in this series that it was a tough choice. But Jinmu will take it today, flexing on the Doomfist and many other heroes.
Yeah, good stuff. I know you're a proud member of the Moo crew, Della,
I am.
So.
I am. That's right. Both Moo crews, both the Jinmu and the Time Moo. Different spellings. Similar move. There you go. Well, exciting day of Overwatch League here today, that's for sure. Right up until the very end. Lot to digest for our analysts. Don't go anywhere, guys. Watchpoint is going to be coming up after this, and there's a lot to talk about. What a great first week we've had already. 2 days down, 2 days to go. I think I'm loving the 2-2-2. I know you guys are as well. Stick around. Watchpoint coming up.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.